Hey folks, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at episode 16 of The Ancient Magus Bride. So this review won't be too long. I don't really have a lot to say about this week's episode. It was, I want to say, almost a Christmas themed episode of anything, and it was very cute. I really enjoyed it, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't a super heavy episode in terms of what happened. We do have some things to talk about, mind you, but not a lot to talk about. So the beginning of the episode, really more so is the focus, is that we have Christmas upon us, and Chise decides to go into town without Elias's permission. She basically just sneaks out of the house, but he was well aware that she did it. Went out to the town and ended up running into Alice, who is a character we met several episodes ago. They end up having this girls on the town type thing where they just hang out, they start talking to one another. They become closer friends after Alice's past friends of sorts try to do something to her and attack her, and luckily Alice knows how to fight and handle herself, so she beat the guy one guy off, and the other ones try to attack, but Ruth, who was always of course next to Chise, blocked them off from doing anything, and basically they ran away from then. And then we learned more about Alice's backstory. We see how apparently she had a very dark past because her parents were drug addicts, and they tried to get her into drugs at one point, so she ran away from home, became essentially homeless, and ran into a lot of delinquent people, was saved by this one guy who she calls Master, who ended up taking care of her, actually going through her withdrawals and was calming her down the whole time. Apparently he also dabbled in various magical things, and at one point she ends up opening a book that he had in his study and unleashing this weird creature of sorts that cuts him in the face when he goes and tries to protect her. So he feels like, I think she really realized that she has to be more trusting of people, but more so than anything else, she feels like she has to owe people that protect her or try to stand up for her. And I think that got, both her and Chise closer together by telling that story to him, or to her. Now, what was interesting about this week's episode then too was that, they wanted to buy gifts for Elias, and I love the thing what she tried to do. She bought him a pendant that he already had essentially, but she wanted to get him a newer one. And he was so happy with it because he was just, I think, surprised by it. But he then gave her gifts. And I love that, he gave her a giant teddy bear. I thought that was so adorable. He says that there's a secret function of it, which is intriguing to me. I'm like, Elias's secret functions for a lot of things would kind of scare me because of the fact that I feel like he's programmed something into that teddy bear that would do something. But, I thought that was adorable. I even thought when the first time they kissed, quote unquote, where she kissed him on the forehead, and he really can't kiss because he's got, no lips. He's a skeleton head. He went up and nuzzled her, and I was like, oh, that's adorable, man. But we see something that's very interesting this weekend. I think we've already been alluded to it, but we saw that he knew Angelica, which is the girl with the huge, let's say, opai. In case I don't want to say the other word because now I'll get my video will get flagged. But she has a big set of opai, and lo and behold, apparently he knew her when she was a kid. That's kind of interesting because Elias, we don't really have an age per se for Elias. We know he's older, but maybe he's a lot older than I think even we realize. It's interesting to me because, yes, we've, again, heard that before, but to see it and to see how young she was with them, it's like, ooh, it's interesting. But this episode was very cute. I loved it. I think this whole show. But, there was one thing I wanted to mention, too, that I forgot within the whole cuteness. Besides all the cutest stuff, which, by the way, is a positive about the episode, everything was a positive, but I didn't really have any issues with the episode in general. We do get this little tad bit piece of information here at the end of the episode where that weird guy that kidnapped Chise for a second and turned her into a fox. It looked like him. I'm not saying it was him. It kind of looked like him, but this dude went up to this other girl, or I believe it was a girl that was walking, and then said some weird stuff to her and looked really creepy about it. And I'm like, who is this guy? I'm very curious about that. I feel like that is the same dude, but I'm not 100% sure because, the way they only showed really his eyes, which the eyes, he had very similar eyes to the one that did that to Chise. So I feel like it's the same dude, but let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about that. Listen, just be nice about it. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. I have one other review today, which is Kokoku. I'll have that out probably around, I would say maybe 3:30 around that. So I'll try to get that as fast as possible. But I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great, blessed day, everyone. God bless you all. Bye-bye.